distinguished guests who actually display the diversity, and we are very fortunate to have Madame le Ministre, Madame le Conseiller Regional, and our dear Ambassador Sir, under whose strong leadership we have been able to take a lot of, I would say, initiatives. So without any further delay, I would like to invite Ambassador Sir to please say a few words. Mrs. Xenia Lizon would do a token to our ambassador.
I would like to offer you this book. This is a book of an exhibition which we have sponsored last year. It's about metaphysical pictures, you will see. Unfortunately, with COVID, it was not viewed by a lot of people, but it's a very interesting exhibition.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
you
very
can
much.
visit it virtually.
First, apologies that I'll be speaking in English, but I seek your indulgence. Your Excellency, Madam Elizabeth Moreno, Minister of great passion and a great determination and conviction, your work actually is dedicated to make the world kinder, more equal, and certainly more hopeful for the future. And it is evident from the commitment that you have to making this world more inclusive and equal for gender, for women in particular, is the fact that you're not just working for those who are in France, but also your presence today demonstrates your commitment to gender equality and opportunities throughout the world. The Regional Council, Priska Tebekol, your own story and your own journey is a demonstration of the power of opportunities, and that when everyone, men and women, walk in step, they can achieve impossible things together, and that there is no really glass ceiling above anyone. I'd like to also thank Hogan Lovells, Madame Eugenia Legendre, and Mr. Thierry Meignan. You have demonstrated that lawyers can also be very compassionate and kind, and committed to noble causes. To my good friends from Gopir, Mehen Punaswamy and Tarun Kalwani, I've always been very, very impressed with the kind of passion and commitment you bring, not just to the organization's work, but in being a bridge between India and France, between the Indian community here and people back home. And in times of adversities, you have always come forward to help those who are in need, but also come together with ideas that you've just spoken about to create opportunities. And this is yet again your spontaneous and enthusiastic support for a very, very noble cause in this difficult time. And finally, a word to the star of the evening, Laurent Goldstein. Truly, your work, of course, is remarkable. It does carry huge traces of a photographer that we're all great fans of, Henri Cartier-Bresson, but also of Raghu Rai. And in living in Paris and in Varanasi, you embody the timeless spirit and soul of the two great cities of the world, but also the sense of timeless human emotions, experiences, and joys. And all of that you've captured so beautifully in your photographs, both in color and black and white. But even more important, I think, is you're using art not just for expression, but also for a cause. And that, in your own way, in Varanasi, in Banaras, as you call it, you're already helping give hope and opportunities to a lot of young children. And this is yet another example of that. Now, we're talking, of course, about gender equality and about opportunities for girls studying in India. Now, there are always such contrasts, sometimes such multiple pictures, and to us, of course, no society can progress, no society can consider itself to be humane and kind unless it offers gender equality, and certainly 50% of the people the opportunity to be themselves and to express themselves and to dream their dreams and to achieve what they set out to do without any fetters and constraints. And I think that is what leads to human progress and for societies to move forward. And in the last few years, I think we've seen a very dramatic change in India. For example, in the sex ratio moving up from 990 to 2020 for 200 million micro loans being given to women, all using data and all using modern technology. You've seen millions now being able to occupy positions of representatives in local councils. But it's very interesting that more than 35% of jobs in the IT sector in India are held by women now. And that 51% of students going into engineering colleges are women. This is a remarkable achievement, and I think especially for STEM courses where it generally tends to be dominated by men, it's really encouraging to see women. In my embassy, I think now we have been outnumbered by women, especially among the younger officers, and we have one bright example here in front of us, my young colleague Pujya. But I think, let me just focus a little bit on COVID, and I think we've all gone through 2 years of an extraordinary time in which, beyond lives that have been extinguished in isolation, each of us have been touched in different ways, and each of us has in some sense experienced some personal loss, and societies and people have generally been affected by long-term, I think, psychological, social, economic challenges and constraints. As it always happens in a crisis, the weakest suffer the most, whether it are nations, or whether it are communities, or whether there are individuals. And it is no surprise that throughout the world, women have generally been more affected by the consequences of COVID than men have been, or boys have been better off than women. And for example, very interesting statistics by the World Economic Forum, which was pointed out to me by my young colleague, that World Economic Forum has forecasted that as a result of COVID, gender equality, which would have taken 99 years, imagine, globally gender equality is supposed to take 99 years, but now take 136 years. So that's the first immediate impact. Second, that nearly 40 million girls in Asia have not had the benefit of full access to online education because of the inability to have the same access to communication devices that are connected to internet, whether it's phones or laptop, that boys have had. And this will obviously have consequences down the line. And very similarly, when you look at the job market now, there have been more job losses for women than there have been for men, especially because of the nature of inequality in job opportunities and the quality of jobs that they have been doing. So when you look at the long-term impact, it's always the weaker who need to get more support. And therefore, education becomes important, because education isn't just about today, it's about the impact it will have in the course of the entire life of every individual. So it's today that you sow the seeds for the future, and what you prepare the young women, girls and boys for the future. And so I think this initiative is especially important because it simply cannot be measured in the value of money that will go into it, or the number of young girls who might benefit from it. But it is about the intangible, the incalculable impact, positive impact it can have on the lives of those who will benefit from it, and the impact it will have on society and on the future generations that they will bring to this world because of what they got from the kindness and generosity of some who thought of those who were in trouble. So here is an extraordinary example of an idea from a great law firm that is translating into a real life impact for so many girls, thousands of kilometers and 5 time zones away from Paris. And it is a great tribute also to Gopio, but also to Laurent Goldstein, who has brought forth this extraordinary work, and that will make a huge difference. But let me say that in all of you coming here and being part of this event, you are really the ones who are making the difference in making an impact. It wouldn't be the same if this hall was empty or was sparsely populated. It gives hope to those who are bringing this event together is because of your presence, your support, your generosity, and your enthusiasm for such a noble cause. And it is once again demonstrates that the world is kinder and better because of the generosity of all of us that lifts us in times of adversity. And we can always count on the positivity of human values in times of adversity and distress. And this evening is just another great example of that. So really proud and happy to be part of this. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Madam Minister. In such a busy schedule, I know this is a special time in the life of politicians, but you have still made it a point to be here along with all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your facts and statistics, which really impresses